All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us here. We'll have Coach Murphy along with Maddie Morgan and Lexi Kilfoil. We'll start with Coach Murphy for the opening statement and then open up for questions after that.
Well, first of all, I just want to say thanks for everybody for sticking around. Sorry, it took a while, but it just was a heck of a good weekend for us. I have so much respect for Kentucky, the players on the team, coaching staff. Just they're one of my favorite groups in college softball, and it stinks to have to beat them because I know they had a really, really good team this year. Just great young ladies that play the right way, very respectful. So. But Kilfoyl was outstanding. And then we got two big hits when we needed them, Tow's and Maddie Morgan's. And usually that's the name of the game. We played great defense. Taylor Clark made some great plays. Maddie Morgan made some great plays and didn't have any errors, which is the key. Because when you have a drop ball pitcher, you're going to get a lot of ground balls. So great defense in the two games.
All right, we'll start the questions with Michael.
Yeah, you guys jumped on them today. 2 runs in the first. I mean, what was that first inning like and setting the tone for the rest of the game?
Well, I think the first 2 got on, and then Tao, she just belted opposite field double and just missed a home run. But then after that, we have second and third and no outs, and really killed ourselves with bad base running all day long. In fact, it was not good today, and that's a first time all year, to be honest with you. I was disappointed in the base running, but they made a great play. They got the girl out at the plate and then whipped it to third and got Jenna Johnson. And then boom, instead of second and third, again, we have a runner, I think it's second with 2 outs. So it was a good job by their defense, not good execution on our part. And then obviously the other big hit was Morgan's home run.
I go to Edwin.
You touched on it a little bit in your opening statement, but can you talk about how happy you are for the senior class after having to, after what happened last year to them and getting this opportunity?
Yeah, it was just.
And also, can you tell me how excited you are for Maddie Morgan?
Yeah, big time for both. It for us and for our coaching staff, the winning is the icing on the cake. We try to teach them how to be great citizens and great young ladies after they graduate. They leave here, they lead productive lives and have great careers. And the winning is basically the byproduct of all of that. We just are thrilled when we do win. And to have 7 seniors who missed last year come back, 6 get master's degrees, 1 with a double major, graduate from the University of Alabama. That's the best part of the whole story. And then we get to continue to play. I heard one of the girls after the game, it's like, I don't have to turn my uniform in. And that's what you love to hear too. She gets to play another day in the Crimson Tide uniform.
All right, go to Brett.
Hey, Coach. Little lighthearted one. Just kind of lock up the recruitment for Alexis Mack's sister. I saw her walk around the stadium. She had a Bama hat on, I think a Kentucky jersey on. You can't speak on that. I see you're probably looking at Alexis right now.
Well, she's committed to Kentucky, so good luck to her, and we'll probably see her on the field.
All right, we're going to Robert.
First off, congrats, Coach. Can you talk about the atmosphere today and how it compared to some of the best crowds in the past? Because there was a lot of people saying that this is the most packed they might have ever seen Rose.
It was unbelievable. And, about the second inning, I said to KJ Haney, who sits next to me in the dugout, I said, that this is the first time that Kilfoyl has seen this because, we were just getting started in March. And the biggest crowd that she saw or pitched with was Arkansas. And that was the last series of the year that we played. So this was new for her. And, I think she handled it really well, but the fans were unbelievable. And the reason why we're 43-0 in regional play and we win a lot in super regionals is because of them. And they bring it every single time we host. And this year, I was a little worried. I thought maybe we'd have softball fatigue because we had Ole Miss at the SEC tournament. Can somebody mute their spot? We had Ole Miss, we had the SEC tournament, we had regionals, and then we had super regionals. So that's 4 weekends that these great fans have to commit to continue to come. And they did that. And, I said on my TV interview, if there's an athletic director in college that's watching this today, they need to invest in the sport of softball because it can do great things for a school and athletic department.
To Katie.
Coach, you had mentioned earlier this week that last weekend Lexi was y'all were wanting to keep her around 75 pitches. Was there a pitch limit y'all were looking at today, or just letting her ride and she felt good and was able to go off 7 innings?
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point. At the beginning, I felt she was just kind of getting started, and then around the 4th or the 5th, I felt like she was really dealing. And I was like, okay, it's hers to stay in and finish. And she was awesome. Changeup was great. She hit her spots. She was getting ahead of kids. And then when you see a batter start to guess what's coming, that's when you know that your pitcher is doing a great job. Okay, the pitcher and the Steph, who's calling the pitches, she's starting to guess. That's when you have them. And you could tell that they were trying to sit change up, and then she'd throw a hard one and they'd foul it off into our dugout. And that's guessing. So when that happens, you know that your pitcher's going to have a good day.
I'll go back to Robert. Do you have
I
another?
have another question.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll go to Katie Hallett.
Coach, congrats on the win. So in the second, Kentucky scored a run. It didn't seem to shake Kilfoyl at all. Can you talk a little bit about her demeanor as a pitcher and how she gets through that?
Well, I was thinking the same thing because it was a weird play too. It was runner at third. We had a little rundown. Then we had the girl from second go to third, get her out. The girl at third scores. There's all kinds of stuff going on, but she held her ground, stayed composed. And, I guess one of the things I thought of was, she's pitched in the Florida State Championship and won it. So she's been through this before, obviously not that big of a stage, but she's played those games where it's 0-0 going into the 10th or 11th inning. And she's always been really good demeanor. She has that pitcher's demeanor where it just looks like if you walked into the game today, you wouldn't know if she was up 10 or down 10. And that's what you need out of a pitcher. I think both Montana and her have that. It's just a great quality to have playing this game.
Go ahead, Eric.
Coach, obviously you mentioned the crowd and the atmosphere, and you mentioned the interview you gave out, the message to athletic directors. I'm curious, and do you allow yourself, I know it's hard because you're locked in on the game, but do you allow yourself during the game to kind of take a second to kind of look around and say, wow, this is so awesome and amazing, especially after not having this last year?
Yeah. And it was one of Bailey Hemphill's at-bats where I'm literally a mile down the line away from her because I'm afraid she's going to hit me. And I looked around and I was like, this is unbelievable. It means a lot to see all those fans because, again, I've said this before, there's a lot of things they can spend their money on. And for them to choose softball means a lot to us. And to come watch us and pay for a ticket to watch means a lot. And, just to see this sport grow over the years just means a lot to me as well, because it's a great sport. I mean, I appreciate you guys doing everything you can to help us grow it. But it was a great day for us.
Now, do you have another one, Robert?
Yes. So, Coach, as far as gritty and most resilient teams you've ever coached, where does this one rank, especially because of all the injuries and adversity? And, a lot of teams could have folded if they were in your position a few months ago, but you guys, it was next man up, and you guys were able to have a great record in the SEC, win the SEC tournament, and just, kind of make some noise in the postseason and make it to the World Series.
Well, that's exactly what I told the team in the huddle afterwards, because they were the grittiest, most resilient team I think we've ever had here. And they could have folded their tents. They could have folded their tents when Bailey Dowling went down. Kilfoyl got hurt. Claire Jenkins went down. Jenna Johnson, kneecap, KB sides for 4 weeks. COVID itself, there was a lot of restrictions. We didn't get to do probably 80% of the things that we usually do in our program in terms of team building, team chemistry things. And we've missed it. We really have. But they have done a great job of staying together, keeping their eyes on the prize and doing what they need to do on and off the field. And Robert, I couldn't be more proud of a group.
All right, then we'll wrap it up there and move on to the players. Thanks, guys.
Hey, thanks a lot, you guys. And hey, if you can afford to get to Oklahoma City, come up there, okay? Because it is a great event. Katie, tell the freaking Crimson White or whoever you're working for to get your butts up to Oklahoma City because you need to go, okay? And if you need money, ask me. I'll go get somebody to give you the money to get up there, okay? I'll raise the money myself. I'll go get the players.
Okay, we'll start things off with Maddie Morgan here.
Hello.
All right, and then we'll, I guess, Michael, you get the first question.
Yeah, just would you see on that home run? What were the emotions like after that hit?
Well, first of all, if I want to give Kentucky a big shout out, they're a great team. Definitely gave us, an amazing super regionals, but crazy. That's the word that I can, put to describe that home run. It was just the atmosphere, I kind of was just, just ready for that to happen.
All right, we'll move on to Robert.
Outside of Road Stadium, when you woke up this morning, what was going through your head? What was it like putting on the uniform? And can you reflect on your time, playing inside of Road Stadium these past 4 years?
Yeah, putting on this uniform, it means a whole lot, growing up in the Pacific Northwest, and being able to come to Alabama, that's a huge accomplishment. And I'm just so humbled and honored to be able to represent Alabama. This win, this series was just a great series, and we're ready to keep it rolling in Oklahoma City.
All right, go on, Katie Wyndham.
Hey, Maddie, I don't want to project how you might feel, but we know you're capable of hitting home runs and you haven't hit one yet this year. So is maybe that frustration worth it to hit one here in Supers in the last game here at Rhodes?
Absolutely. It was so bittersweet to hit it here, and especially, the go-ahead game to go to Oklahoma City. But I've been so close all year, so I'm just so happy it went over.
Any other questions for Maddie? All right, go back to Eric Lopez. Go ahead.
Describe what's it like being at the plate, just playing in front of this crowd and the atmosphere that you've had the last 2 days. What's it like? Describe it for those that haven't had a chance to experience it.
Yeah, I would say, honestly, playing for Alabama, you kind of get used to this crazy crowd. And honestly, it feels like you're in front of a charge, but it's just an amazing feeling. You have almost, a couple thousand people behind you. So, and especially, if you don't get it done, my teammate behind me is going to get it done. So I had, just, it was awesome.
All right, any other questions? All right, if not, move on to Lexi Kilfoil. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
All right. All right, we start off, Robert.
Lexi, congrats on the win and making it to the World Series. Murph said in his interview that it was your first time pitching. What was that like, and how were you able to keep your composure?
Will you repeat that last part I cut out? Sorry.
Murph said that your first time playing, and how were you able to be successful and keep your composure, and what was it like?
Oh, well, first off, congrats to Kentucky. They are definitely one of the hardest hitting teams for sure. So congrats to them on such a great season. And it was probably one of my tougher games, and it's definitely all mental. And I had to go out there with the right mindset, and it was tough, but when I had my mind on straight, it was good.
On Katie Hollett.
You just mentioned the game is all mental. When Kentucky scored that run in the second, you seem to keep your demeanor really well. Can you talk a little bit about what goes through your head when that happens and how you stay composed?
Well, they're good. Obviously, they're a very good hitting team. So runs are going to come with some hits. And so I kind of used that to kind of piss myself off a little bit more. And I knew my offense was going to back me up, and I knew that they were going to get it done on the offense side of it. So, yeah.
Katie Wyndham.
Hey, Lexi, I was just looking, and I think it's been over 2 months since he pitched a full 7-inning game. So how good does it feel to just be able to do that and then do it on such a big stage to clinch the spot for your team to Oklahoma City?
It feels honestly amazing. It's one of the greatest feelings in the world, is being out there on the field with all the fans, just everyone on our side, and going out there playing as a team. It's one of the greatest feelings, and we live for those kind of moments.
Robert, do you have another one or no?
Yes.
Okay.
So Lexi, ever since you had, your little nagging injury during the season, Montana really, started to carry the brunt of the load of innings pitched. So how did it feel today, to have her back when she threw, like 140 pitches yesterday?
Yeah, Montana is definitely a competitor, and she can get it done against anyone. And we've been talking a lot on and off the field, and she's been helping me with my mindset, and she's like telling me that she's gone through the same thing, and she's just talked to me the whole time, and she's always had my back, and I always got hers.
Go ahead, Eric.
Speak to this journey you've had. I remember watching you in person in Clearwater with Casey Clark Zerby, watching you play in person. What's this moment mean for you? Coach Murph mentioned this is maybe the biggest crowd you got a chance to play pitch in front of, and sending your team to the World Series.
It means the world, because this team has come such a long way, because ever since the pandemic, that's the last thing we wanted to happen, was our season get cut off. And so we used all of our experience from that year and just pushed it over to this year. And we've been hungry to play some softball and play some good teams, and we're not done yet. So we're not going to stop fighting.
I think with that, we'll wrap it up. Thanks, guys, for everything you've done all year, and we'll get in touch with media info here for this next coming week. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.